Hey, are you looking to scale your business from figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy.
Successful Minds with Patricia Baronowski-Schneider, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Successful Minds with Patricia Baronowski-Schneider is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Patricia Baronowski-Schneider.
Hello and welcome back to Successful Minds. I'm your host, Patty Baronowski-Schneider. Today I'm joined by Adrian Smude, a high-level real estate business owner and investor. So welcome, Adrian. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me, Patty.
My pleasure.
I am from Central Florida, a little town called Plant City, Florida, in between Tampa and Orlando. We're the winter strawberry capital of the world. And I got my start in real estate as a evicted tenant. I'm the guy you don't want living in your properties at 20 years old. We had a big party, spaghetti wrestling, mud wrestling. We even had a pool party in the house.
Nice.
That led me to buy a house. I solved the problem of getting evicted and I became the landlord.
There you go. It never heard of spaghetti wrestling. That one I will definitely have to check out. Sounds awesome, though. So I guess, can you share your journey from becoming an accidental landlord in 2002 to discovering your passion for investing in mobile homes with land?
Yeah, so like I said, I bought a house, moved my friends in. What I did really right at that point is I divided my mortgage up amongst my friends. So they paid my mortgage. At 20 years old, I was not living with mom and dad, and I was living for free.
Nice.
So a few years later, I said, well, this is really cool. Can I do it again?
Right.
Went and bought another house. All I knew at that time was what the banks told me.
Right.
And they said, real estate goes straight up. Don't worry. You're going to lose a little bit every month, but you can refinance in a few years. Well, a few years came along and we were going down in that market.
Wow.
I had one of those adjustable rate mortgages that we all heard about. So I went from losing a little bit every month to a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
My value of the home was going down. Long story short there, I gave the house up as a short sale. And that was obviously a ding to my credit, my ego, but the bigger thing was a ding to my integrity because I didn't do what I said I was going to do.
Right.
So let's just fast forward. I bought some more houses, but that short sale stayed in the back of my head because I never wanted to repeat that again. And that's what had me on this journey looking for something different and something new. And that's how I stumbled into mobile homes. I found it through talking to and interviewing really successful other investors. And I dove in. I haven't looked back. I actually sold off all of my ranch style houses to buy mobile homes.
Very interesting. You don't hear that every day. Yeah. So I guess tell us a little bit about what led you to focus specifically on mobile homes as your real estate niche, and why do you believe it's an untapped gold mine?
Well, I started focusing on them after I bought that first one, and I realized the cash flow was so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, one of my coaches was really questioning me, like what I was looking for in this business. And every time I kind of told him all the benefits of real estate, he's like, no, if you only pick one thing, what are you after? And at that time, the one thing I was after was cash flow, because that's what I can eat off of every month. I can pay all my bills.
Right.
And mobile homes provide a higher cash flow, less dollars in for more dollars coming back. So that's one of the things I love about them. Today, they're still recession resistant. They're untapped because there's not as many investors in them. I talk to super seasoned investors that have been in the game for a really long time, and a lot of them still don't invest in mobile homes. They don't fully understand them.
Right.
And so less people in it, less competition, that means there's more for us that
Yeah,
do
for sure.
understand them.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
simple supply and demand.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, it is something that you don't hear many people talk about, yet I know so many people who live in them. It's like, they have a bad rep, which is unfortunate because they're not all, they always heard the term trailer trash. I mean, it's no longer like that anymore. I mean, if you would have seen, my mom had one at one point. It was like a double trailer. I mean, it was just beautiful. And the whole, community and everybody's, you're in that community, everybody loves you. It's definitely an untapped market, and it's, hopefully you spread the word on it. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you understand that, because that is one of the biggest myths and challenges I have to help upgrade people's mindset on.
Right.
Because like you said, it's not true, even though some Netflix specials and movies
Yeah.
make fun of it.
Right.
It's not always true.
Yeah, it definitely is not. And I've seen, some pretty high end people living in them too. And, even with my husband, like we always laugh, he's going to retire and he's like, I'm happy to just live in a trailer at this point. It's less maintenance. You don't have to deal with so much crap. It's like, I just don't need all, because people, you have this big home for your family and then family moves on. And it's like, all right, well, now we got all the space for just us. It's a lot of maintenance. Yeah. So now tell us, how did attending the REIA meetings influence your real estate investing career? And what key insights did you gain from those meetings?
Well, at those meetings, I started attending to network and to learn more. And yes, I learned from the speakers on stage, which is now I go out and speak on them. But I really found the mobile home niche by talking to the guys and girls in the back of the room. The ones that didn't need to attend, they didn't need to buy another deal. They're super seasoned investors. And that's where I found the commonality. They all kind of mentioned mobile homes at some point in their career. And I learned I'm pretty good at finding commonalities. Some people, good and bad.
Right.
So what to stay away from and, learn from and what to start doing.
Right.
And that's really how I found it. I still go to these meetings. I love them because I create allies and make my network even bigger and larger. So then I know, all right, well, I need to call so-and-so about this problem, or so-and-so is looking to buy this. And I have this lead that came in, but it's not for me.
Right.
So they have been super super helpful for my success.
Right. No, that's awesome. And networking is huge. I mean, people just, they take it for granted. And then with COVID, everything kind of, went on a hiatus, and then everything now is, hybrid or remote and blah, blah, blah. And that's all cool, but it still doesn't replace that face-to-face and meeting people. And especially now with, deep fakes and all that. I mean, you don't even know if who you're talking to is even real anymore. I'd rather see you face-to-face and get to know you. And like you say, somebody knows somebody. So no matter what you need, there's somebody in your network that can fill that void. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
And one of my mentors says, your network equals your net worth.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I at one point had a huge database for my business, and everybody wanted to buy the database. They didn't care about me. They all wanted my contacts.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, it's not for sale, but it is true. I mean, that's your bread and butter right there. Yeah. So now, can you tell us about your best-selling book, How to Buy Mobile Homes, and what inspired you to write it, and what do you hope readers take away from it?
What inspired me to write it really is because I never thought I'd write a book. That's the very first little piece of why I wrote it. Then once I put down my things to do, because I like to do hard things and things I don't think I would ever do, I was actually listening to a podcast, and one of the sponsors was a coaching group for mobile homes, self-publishing school. Sorry, for writing books. I think I said it for mobile homes. And
it's in the brain.
Yeah. It hit me at the right time. I was into the education world at that time, and I was, you know what? I think I'm going to check them out. Right. And I did. And I already believed in coaching at the time. So it was easy for me. I'm like, all right, if I have the right coach, they'll just walk me through all the steps. So they walked me through the steps of writing the book. I wrote the book as my journey, starting out as the evicted tenant, and went all the way through and actually passed the moment of retiring my wife at 29. Nice. But through my journey, I wrote and taught about how to buy mobile homes. Right. I kept the topic simple, how to buy mobile homes, the color, all the same, yellow. I'm a bright yellow guy. And what I want people to take from it is first, how to buy mobile homes, the information on it. But then what I honestly didn't plan as I was writing it, but it's an inspirational story.
Right.
So I've had a lot of people tell me that they took nuggets from it that are completely outside of mobile home investing.
Wow.
And now I also learned I like to write. I never thought I'd like to write. And
Yeah.
one other thing I learned through that is that while I was writing the book, I learned that I'm dyslexic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I already knew I was in remedial classes all through school,
Right.
but I learned dyslexic, and I'm dyslexic. That's part of what I learned while writing it. So one of my, I'll say jokes, but is very true. If I can do it, so can you. If a dyslexic guy can write a book
Right.
and buy mobile homes, so can you. And it's,
Yeah.
of course, not to poke fun, but it's
Yeah,
hard.
but I mean, yeah.
But
I mean,
we gotta
that's
do hard
amazing.
things. That's how we're successful.
It's amazing that you didn't catch that earlier, but what makes all of this real is that you're not just talking about something you learned in school or a book that you read. You've actually lived this, and that makes you a lot more approachable, because anybody can tell you, like, you hear all these realtors who, went to school, graduated, blah, 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 and they're just trying to sell you this big house because they're going to get this great commission, blah, blah, blah. But do you really know what people are going through to know, is this the best for? They don't care. They just need to make that commission. So you've been there and you can basically relate to people. And this isn't a phenomenal option, but you're not trying to sell them a $1 million home just because you're looking for a commission. You're trying to give them the best possible investment and best possible roof over their head, which is awesome.
That's exactly it. And I made it very important in my vision for my education side that I will always make my main money to live off of my actual mobile home investment, and only teach what I actually do in my business.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah. Now tell us, you're part of 3 masterminds, including co-running a high-level real estate mastermind. So how have these masterminds contributed to your success and personal growth?
The style mastermind, because I know there's multiple out there that I'm in, all 3 of them, and the one I run, is more like a board of advisors. So there's not just one person in charge and always talking. We go and sit in a room for 2-3 days, and there's usually the same people. Sometimes new people come, and every once in a while someone moves on to another part of their life, but they get to know you, and you come with a problem or 3, and then you have this problem in this closed room, so it's not going to outside in social media, and everyone gives their feedback. And usually there's 1, 2, or 3 people in the room that have already been through this before, and they can say, well, I solved that by.
Right.
I look at them as my board of advisors, and then we have to actually take the information and go do something with it, of course.
Yeah.
They've helped me with confidence. They've helped me decide on what marketing to use, what to do next. And they also call me out whenever I'm saying I want one thing, but I'm going a different direction and I can't see it because I'm inside my world. So they have been massive for my success. I wouldn't be paying for 2 of them and then started a 3rd one to be in. That's a lot of time commitment if they weren't super successful for my growth in personal and business.
Right. No, I think it's amazing. And it is true. You need, because when you're involved, you're kind of focused on what you're doing. You need that outside perspective. And talking to people, a lot of people, it's changed through the years, because years ago, people weren't big on sharing their thoughts and views because everything was competitive. Now you have mentors, you have all sorts of people willing to help, and, bouncing ideas off people. Sometimes you need that, because I can sit here and say, well, this is how I've done it. It's always been this way. And someone else could say, well, maybe you haven't noticed, but times are changing. This would be the better way to do it, and here's why. I could agree or disagree, but at least now I get a different perspective. And, personally, you're never going to see what you're doing as wrong, but you need somebody else who says, what you're doing is cool, but you might, so I think that's awesome. And you're, putting yourself out there to help people, I think is huge. Now tell us, mindfulness and self-improvement, they're significant focuses for you. So how do these practices enhance your life and business?
I started mindfulness, which people usually think of is in the meditation world, because of Hal Elrod. He's got the Miracle Morning, he's got a book and a whole podcast on it. And that's one of the little elements that he found for success. Right. And it was very difficult at the beginning, but now I practice mindfulness throughout the entire day, every morning, actual time, and then little moments throughout the day. It has helped me be a calmer person, it's helped me want to give more, to appreciate the small things and the big things in life.
Right.
So all in all, it's really just made me a happier, more present person for,
Right.
again, personal life
Right.
and business. I always think it's both. A lot of times we
Right.
only think business, business, business.
Right.
But if the personal's not good, business will never
Right.
be good.
And it's one thing that people never, taking care of yourself is always in the back burner. It's like not your priority. You have to wake up, you have to take care of the family, you have to make money, you have to go to work, you have to clean this, you have to taking care of yourself is like not even on that list half the time. But people don't realize that, you're the vessel. If there's issues, if you're driving your car and it's got little clinks going on, there's a problem. Fix it, maintain it, and you're going to be golden for years to come. So I think that is really cool. And you have to find what works for you. Some people like meditation. Some people will go to the gym and, whatever works for you and gets you into that zone and helps you focus. I mean, more productive you're going to be when you have a clear mind, you're relaxed, you're happy, and you're doing what you'd love to do. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, I love your car analogy to that. That is great. And I'll tell you, I have my own data for me.
Right.
Because I've been doing the Miracle Morning and meditating for about 7, maybe going on 8 years now. And it's, I would say 98% of days I do it.
Right.
And I have my own data for me. The
Right.
days I don't, I'm not as happy. I'm not as productive.
Yeah.
I'm usually a little more edgy.
Right.
And then the other piece to that are the days that I do an accelerated version. Maybe it's 5 minutes worth. And then some days I do an hour and a half. There's also a correlation with the more time I spend on it,
Right.
and on myself, this meditation and all this mindfulness for myself, I'm even more productive, even happier, even more energy.
Right.
So that keeps me driving to want to do it even more and more and more.
Right. And, again, it comes what works for you, because like I'm a treadmill person. I can have the worst day. I can be crap, but I feel so much better because I'm on it. I watch my TV shows. I'm relaxed. You kind of get that endorphin and you're just doing really good. And yet I know other people who are like, they'd rather put a gun to their head than do any type of, but hey,
Yeah.
you'll find what works for you. But it's all about getting yourself centered, getting yourself focused, releasing a lot of all the nonsense that's going on in the world and being present with yourself. It's just like people who, wake up and they're in their pajamas all day long. It's like I said, I would get up, take a shower, do my hair. I don't really wear much makeup, but I make myself because I feel better about myself. You're prioritizing you above anything else. And then once you get yourself where you need to be, everything else is just a gravy after that. So you found what works for you. And I think that's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Now, I guess, can you share a particularly memorable success story from your mobile home investing career?
Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free.
Oh, I have so many of these. I have one of my favorites is actually my second mobile home I ever bought. And I went and bought it. That's not the heartfelt part of it. Yes, I helped the sellers out. And then I already had a resident tenant in there. And he moved out after a few months. And I put it for rent. Actually, you know what? I put that one for sale. I was going to sell it, owner finance it out.
Right.
And I got a few different applicants. I'm running all the applications. And one lady, because this place needed some work. And she came and looked at it. And then she said, I'm going to come back again. I want to bring someone from my church that's going to help me do the work on it.
Right.
Because again, this place needed some work. And she was very confident. She always got me all my information that I needed for her. And then she pushed me to sign all the paperwork after she was approved. Right. On a Sunday. And I don't normally choose to work on the weekends unless I really have to. But for whatever reason, I said yes. I went and signed everything. We're all good. And once we're done, she says, I had nowhere to live tomorrow. And people kept telling me, you're not buying a place this weekend. You need to do something and find where you're going to live, because she had 2 kids. And I had no idea. She's just like, I just had faith that I was buying this. I kept telling everyone, I am buying this mobile home. And I'll tell you, about 3 weeks later, she sent me after pictures of how she fixed the place up and not only made it beautiful, but also just made it her own, put the flowers, different places. She's still there today. She's still living. She's almost finished paying it off. And she's been a great resident. She's one of my stories that, when life gets a little tough or you have that frustrating person move in, I always think back to her. And she's one of my favorite stories.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you just have, what do they say? Think it, feel it, believe it, and it'll happen. And yeah.
And what's kind of crazy to me is I'm making money while having that feeling. Like, that's weird. Like, from what society teaches, like, I get to feel really good, help someone, and I get to make money.
I mean, that's, when they always say about like having a job, doing what you enjoy doing, they don't always go hand in hand. But, if you do get that golden nugget, I mean, it's just awesome. Not everybody gets that, but you're doing it, and you're not doing it in a shady way where you're just selling people crap because you just want to make money. You're helping them and teaching them how to, one, do this for yourself, but also, think it, believe it, feel it, it'll happen, I mean, I think that's amazing, and not doing it in a way that, you're asking for billions of dollars for it, I just think it's great.
Well, thank you. And I think it's the key part for me that you said that sticks out is when you find something you love and you stick with it, you said, think it, feel it, and believe it.
Yeah.
That's the key behind it that I didn't realize I was doing at the beginning, but that's a golden nugget right there from the whole podcast.
Yeah. And I can see it in the smile in your face. You love what you do. And I think that's amazing. And like I said, a lot of people who, do what they like to do and they're making money on it could care less about anybody else. They're just doing it in a way to, make money, but they don't really care about anybody else, which is unfortunate, but yeah, you're doing good stuff and it shows. Now, let's see. I guess, what are some common misconceptions about mobile home investing? How do you address them when teaching others about that niche?
Well, one of the biggest ones you've already touched on is the trailer trash. I'm putting the air quotes there. We touched that out a little bit. It's not always true. Stereotypes can be funny, but they're not always true. A lot of our residents are blue collar, handyman, handy women that take pride in their home. They fix it up if they're buying it from us or they're just renting it, because most of our properties are rentals. Right. But they still take pride and they fix it up and make it theirs. Some other things are financing mobile homes. Yeah. People think you can't finance an old mobile home, 1960s and 70s. Right. Well, you can. The owner finances it a lot of times, and then friends and family. Yes, we don't always use banks in the older ones, but there's still a lot of people out there that want to put their money to work. Another one that comes up a lot are all mobile homes go down in value. I think this is maybe from the appraiser world of where this stereotype came from. Right. I'll tell you, it's not been true to my bank account and my net worth. They've been going up.
For sure.
And that's the old ones, the 1960s and 70s, especially if there's land under it, because the land value will go up as well. Yeah. But the newer ones, let's say 1990s and newer, bank rates have gone up recently, right? So a lot of times people buy payments, what they can afford to buy. Well, mobile homes are in the first-time home buyer space, the affordable housing space, the workforce housing space. There's all different terms for it. Right. Well, if people can buy payments and they can't maybe afford the ranch site-built home anymore because the costs have gone up so much, they're so expensive. So mobile homes have actually been going up in value where other houses have been going sideways or down because there's more demand there now. Yeah. Because people are looking for some privacy, maybe an acre of land, half acre. Yeah. You fix the mobile home up the right way and it's a beautiful home. People want it. It's a high-end demand. Right. So the values can actually go up if you treat them the right way.
I could vouch for that. My daughter actually lives in one. And I could just tell you for the past 7 years, it's gone up 5 times what we paid for it. I mean, it's
wow, look incredible. At that. I love hearing that.
Yeah. And, it's just, and when you go through the whole complex, I mean, I just sit there in awe. People, they have their home, they build decks. It's just phenomenal. They have the little playgrounds outside. And I'm like, wow, that place looks better than our place sometimes. I'm like, but, it's just great because you're in that little community. You don't, like, the school bus comes right outside their door. I mean, the garbage picks up everything. I mean, and everybody's so personable. And I tell you, driving up and down there, everybody with their gardening and, like you say, how they decorate it, make it their own, they are gorgeous. So, I mean, that whole trailer trash thing, yeah, like you said, it was funny for movies and stuff like that. And, it's almost like saying the ditzy blonde. It doesn't mean we're all stupid. It's just a cliche that's gone out there, and that's just what it is, but it's not real life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now tell us, as someone who travels around the country sharing your knowledge, what advice do you have for aspiring real estate investors looking to find their niche and achieve their lifestyle freedom?
Figure out who you're going to learn from. 2, 3 mentors. You have to kind of go through this shiny object time of figuring out, all right, well, maybe I don't want this. So I found I did not want multifamily investing, which is great. We get narrow and narrow. Now we have a few. So pick one of them and stick to it.
Right.
Take the action before you know everything, because we never know everything. I still don't know everything there is. For one, laws are always changing. But so take that action as massive imperfect action and then fail forward. John Maxwell has a great book on that topic. And then get up and ask for help, go back to your education, and do that over and over and over again, actually for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it's taking massive imperfect action and asking for help is the short answer.
Oh, that's awesome. And I agree 100% with constantly ask, even if you don't need the help, just ask somebody's opinion. It's always nice to just bounce ideas because people know something that maybe you don't know. Like maybe you would say the real estate, like, well, this is now known for flooding and this whole area is not good. I commend what you're trying to do, but here's why I wouldn't do it. You're just getting ideas, because I might be like, wow, I didn't even realize that. So just getting ideas off other people and asking people's opinion, awesome. And joining master classes, huge. You get a lot of that help.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Now, anything else you're working on that we didn't touch on you want to talk about?
Oh, right now I am working on a new class. I have a bunch of smaller classes, and this one's going to be my most advanced one yet, and it's going to be in person. So, like you said, a lot of that went away, and I've done a little bit of in person since the COVID and everything. But yeah, so I'm doing we've been working on it for a few months now, and still have a few more months. It's a lot of work behind the scenes. I go through all of my deals, every little detail on it, just to get it ready to then make a presentation on it.
Right.
So I've been doing a lot of work on that. It's fun. Also, I get to learn a lot. Usually we jump to the next deal and we shouldn't always do that. But when I go to teach it, I have to fully analyze it, and I get to learn where I went right, where I went wrong, what can I improve. So it's one of the benefits I get from teaching. So we're working on that, and then we're just working on behind the scenes, more systems and products to automate stuff. I didn't do that at the beginning of the business. We did a phase of that, and now we're doing another one just to save time and money, to have more freedom. And those cost money. So every few years, as we make a little bit more money, we do a little bit more of that.
Right. No, I mean, that's awesome. And again, it just shows how you're that hands-on person, because so many other people, there's the hierarchy in a business. So, okay, I'm doing this. You're putting together the presentation. You're putting together my slides. You're doing this. I'm just going to go up there and talk it. But you're actually doing it. And you could see, okay, well, here's what I did wrong. Here's what I did right. But you're actually involved, which makes it a lot more relatable. Because again, I could listen to anybody talk. Doesn't mean that you actually have been there, done that, know what you're doing, good stuff. And you have a book that you're going to put out to people who watch the podcast.
Yes. So we have a 14 myths debunked. So we talked about some of them here, and we're going to go over even more of them. And then maybe you want to read them instead of hearing them. So when you go to lifestyle-rei.com, and then send me a message. Tell me you heard me on the podcast, and I'm going to send you back the PDF right there. And it's free to read over. Remember, it's to upgrade your mindset about mobile homes. So we don't have so much of that stereotype out there.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. The background that you have there, I'm like, that's the one that's a typical cliche of what a trailer is. But I mean, I'm telling you, people, I've seen them, I've been in them. They are phenomenal inside. My daughter's in a 3-bedroom. I mean, you don't even have houses that are 3 bedrooms anymore. I mean, not unless you're paying, $1 million. And beautiful homes. I mean, these are definitely something that's, like you say, a hidden gold mine. So that's awesome. So now,
Well, thank you.
oh, my pleasure. Thank you for sharing the story and spreading the word. So I guess tell us, how can people get a hold of you or learn more about you?
Lifestyle-rei.com. And then I'm on most social medias, Lifestyle REI. And you can shoot me a message on any of those. And if I can help you in some way, you can go to Amazon, or I guess really anywhere it sells books. And my book is How to Buy Mobile Homes. Keep things super simple. Bright yellow shirt, bright yellow book. And yeah, if I can help you out, change your mindset about mobile homes, I'm happy to help.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Again, that was Adrian Smude. So thanks for listening to Successful Minds with Patty B. Never miss an episode by subscribing. So thank you again.
Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win.
Thank you for listening to Successful Minds with your host, Patricia Baronowski-Schneider. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.
There it is. Magnum. Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God. It's beautiful.